Dylan Cease has just signed with the Toronto Blue Jays on a 7-year, $210 million deal, which is absolutely insane. This is one of the first big free agents to be off the board this offseason. We have seen some trades, we've seen some rumors, but now we have arguably the best pitcher available on the free agent market this offseason, Dylan Cease, signing the day before Thanksgiving. Like, I'm getting ready to go out. It's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Everybody's going out. I was getting ready, and then John Heyman, the sauce boss, comes in, gives us a little bit of a Heyman haymaker, says Dylan Cease, 7 years, $210 million to the Toronto Blue Jays. So as always in this video, I'm going to give you my thoughts, my opinions, my reaction to this signing. As we always do, if you enjoy what you're seeing over here, make sure you do subscribe to the channel for more baseball content. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and let me know in the comment section, what are your thoughts? What are your opinions on Dylan Cease signing for 7 years, $210 million with the Toronto Blue Jays? So as I mentioned, he is one of the best free agents available, and in terms of starting pitchers, could be the best guy out there. Dylan Cease has a range of possibilities as a pitcher. That's what kind of makes him a little bit, I don't want to say risky, but a little bit scarier than some of the other guys. We saw Dylan Cease this past year have a horrendous season. We saw Dylan Cease 2 years ago. Great. It seems like in even years, Dylan Cease pitches incredibly. It seems like in odd years, he pitches horribly. And that's kind of what you get with Dylan Cease. But truthfully, at the end of the day, we know he can be a very, very good pitcher. Someone who could be top of the league. I don't know about a true ace, a true number one, but I think that Dylan Cease can definitely be one of the best twos in baseball, and I do think that this is a good move for the Toronto Blue Jays, who have made it very clear that they were not satisfied with losing in Game 7 of the World Series. They want to win it all, and how do you do that? You make your team better. Adding Dylan Cease to a rotation with Kevin Gausman, Jose Barrios, Trey Savage, of course, looked awesome. Like, they've got 4 really, really strong starters, and then now you can fill in that number 5 spot with a variety of different options, which the Blue Jays definitely will. I think we have to address the elephant in the room, which is the massive, massive contract that he just signed. 7 years, $210 million. That is an AAV of $30 million a season. I didn't think Dylan Cease was going to approach $30 million. I thought it was going to be close, but at the end of the day, because he had the qualifying offer attached to him, because of the up and down seasons that he's had, I wasn't sure if he would hit $30 million a year, and then to hit $30 million a year for 7 seasons, that was the biggest surprise to me, was the length of the contract, because I thought $30 million, you could get it in a shorter term deal, maybe like a 3 for 90 or a 4 for like 115, 120 range. The 7-year deal is what makes this interesting. This is very similar-ish to what happened with Max Fried this past offseason, getting all those extra years. And while I think it might be an overpay, hear me out, Blue Jays fans, I think it might be an overpay, I don't care. You are the Toronto Blue Jays. You are trying to win the World Series, and for the first 4, maybe even 5 seasons of this contract, I think Dylan Cease is going to help the Blue Jays ultimately achieve their goal. I'm not going to guarantee they win a World Series, but are the Blue Jays better right now with Dylan Cease than they would be with other options? For sure. And the other options available really weren't that great. Like, I think Framber's good. He's risky. You have Tatsuya Imai, who I thought would be a great fit for the Blue Jays, but coming over from the MPB, his price tag might be similar to Dylan Cease's. At least with Cease, you know what the ceiling can be, and the ceiling is a super, super dominant starting pitcher. Now, when we compare this contract to the rest of the league, it is gaudy. It is tied for the 3rd highest or 4th highest contract given out to a starting pitcher in Major League Baseball right now. He is tied with Corbin Burns, who signed that deal on a 6-year deal, and it's just $8 million below Max Fried, but Max Fried did get an 8-year deal. In terms of AAV, Dylan Cease finds himself right around the top 5. The guys ahead of him are Corbin Burns, Garrett Cole, Blake Snell, Jacob deGrom, and Zach Wheeler, as you can see. And the guys right around him, Garrett Crochet, Tyler Glasnow, Max Fried, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Carlos Rodon, Sean Manaea. Do I think he matches up with the deGrom, Snells, Coles of the world? I don't think so, but I do think he finds himself kind of in that in-between, because I don't think he is like a Carlos Rodon pitcher. I think he could be better. I definitely don't think he's like Sean Manaea, who's getting $25 million a year, or Sonny Gray. Ultimately, while this might be an overpay towards the end of the contract, again, I think Blue Jays fans shouldn't care. You were this close, like literally this close to winning the World Series, and I do think that Dylan Cease is going to help them. Also, I realized I didn't even mention Shane Bieber. That's right, the Blue Jays brought back Shane Bieber. Great rotation. Great rotation moving forward in Toronto. I mentioned Jose Barrios before Shane Bieber. Shame on me. That's disturbing. And Blue Jays fans, you have every right to be mad at me for forgetting his name 5 minutes into the video. But I'm focused on Dylan Cease. I'm focused on the future. And truthfully, I do like the move. I don't know how well it will age towards the end of the contract, but it doesn't matter. You win one World Series, you get back, you give him a chance, which Dylan Cease is going to help you do. this is a good move that the Blue Jays had to make. Again, they were so close. We know it. We saw it. It was one of the best World Series that we've seen in a long time. So let's take a little bit of a deeper look under the hood at Dylan Cease and see what happened last year, see what happened in his successful seasons, see some things that can make him maybe return to that ace frontline starter quality, because let's be honest, 2025 was a nightmare for Dylan Cease, a contract year, and he put up one of the worst seasons in baseball in terms of value from the starting pitching side. Now, one thing that you can say about Cease, he gives you innings. He's given you 160 innings every single season since what? 2021? And even in the year of 2020 with the COVID season, he made 12 starts. He threw 60 innings. Like, this is a guy who, during his career, has been extremely durable, and we know the value of innings pitched. I mean, look at the 2022 with the White Sox, which is also crazy because he had a 2.2 ERA in 2022, 184 innings pitched, a whip at 1.1. Like, that's phenomenal because we know Dylan Cease has some of the best stuff in the game. We're talking swing and miss. We're talking chase. Dylan Cease can be up there with the best. He does have issue at times with throwing strikes, kind of like we saw this past season, but the strikeout stuff is legit. And it is funny, the last two even seasons, second in the Cy Young voting in 2022, fourth in 2024. So in terms of his percentile rankings, last season for Dylan Cease, again, in a bad year, still 95th percentile in whiff rate, which again, if you don't know what that means, this guy's swinging and missing. Whiff rate, K rate, 89th percentile. That's phenomenal. That helps a lot because he does walk guys. 20th percentile in walk. Still, a 20 K to walk ratio still puts him in the upper echelon of pitchers in Major League Baseball. The chase is obviously great. The fastball velo is really good, sitting 97. That's always going to play no matter what. You have a fastball like that, just helps all your other pitches as well. And we know velo is king. I know some of you are going to get mad at that, but it's just statistically true. If you throw harder, the hitter is less likely to get hits. And that's kind of the name of the game. Less hits, less runs, it's good. And the hard hit rate was also really good this year, 72nd percentile. Now, one of the problems for Dylan Cease was he was giving home runs up at an obnoxious rate. Some of these were super unlucky. Shout out to my friend James. If you guys haven't seen him on the Windup or his fantasy baseball channel, I'll leave a link in the description. He gave me this stat a while ago talking about how Dylan Cease had given up like the most home runs that were basically wall scrapers in all of Major League Baseball last year. So it was like inches, feet, the difference between Dylan Cease giving up a home run or being a fly out to the warning track. And sometimes that can happen over a baseball season, which it seems like it did for Cease. If there's one thing that I think Dylan Cease could improve upon, it's finding a true third pitch, because right now he's a four-seam slider guy. He's tinkered with the curve. He had the sweeper. He has the changeup. But those pitches just aren't really sticking right now or really bringing any sort of consistent enough results where Dylan Cease feels comfortable with them. Like the knuckle curve was getting smacked. The sinker was getting smacked. He threw the sweeper, but that kind of builds off of the slider, and I still think he needs a different pitch. Only threw 34 changeups, had some good success, but again, it's an extremely small sample. That's where I think Dylan Cease can make that improvement, and so far in Toronto, we've seen the ability for them to take pitchers and get even more out of them. Trey Savage, like what he did in the World Series in that postseason run was crazy. Big tip of the cap to the Blue Jays pitching development. The fact that Kevin Gausman has continued to be so good throughout his mid-30s is a big tip of the cap to Pete Walker, the Blue Jays pitching coach, and their pitching development. The fact that Shane Bieber wanted to go back there pretty instantly after the offseason, big tip of the cap to not just the Blue Jays, but also, say it with me, their pitching development. The Blue Jays are building something pretty good over there, pretty strong. This is one of the favorites in the American League to go back to the World Series. You could argue that maybe they are the favorite to go back to the World Series in the American League, especially now bringing in Dylan Cease, because one of the things that always made me so nervous about this Blue Jays team was their pitching. Their pitching surprised me last year. Trey Savage doing that was crazy. But having Dylan Cease in there for more innings with Bieber, with Gausman, I remember Bieber this time, with Trey Savage, with Jose Barrios, with whoever else they're going to throw into this rotation throughout the year, it does make them a much better baseball team. And again, I'm going to bring up the elephant in the room contract, 7 years, $210 million. That's a lot of money. Toronto, I think, has to pay a little bit of a premium too. They paid a little bit more, probably gave him one extra year than they would have really wanted. But if you get your guy, and this guy helps you win the World Series, you do not care. And for Blue Jays fans, that's all I'd say to people on Twitter who are probably talking trash, saying this is an overpay. What are you doing? Your team's trying to win a World Series. You don't want to hear it from them. Those are broke boys. Not interested. I wouldn't have given him 7 for 210, but it's not my money. If you're the Blue Jays, he helps you reach your goal to win the World Series. I like this move. This team is getting better. They're going for it. Something that more teams in baseball should, and I wish would do. Whew, the hot stove, man. I was getting ready to go out. I didn't want to make a video, but hey, we got big news. And of course, I'm going to drop a video for you no matter what. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section below. Do you like this move by the Blue Jays? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the baseball content coming at you. And drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. It really does help support. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching all the videos recently. We're not stopping. I've been trying to release the buy or sell for days, and news keeps happening. So whenever there's no news that's not on Thanksgiving, I'll release the buy or sell for you guys. Otherwise, you know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload. Click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye.